Okay, this next section, simplify. So what we do here is actually the opposite of what we did in the previous one. Instead of multiplying by 1, which is what we were actually doing, we are now going to divide by 1. And when you multiply a number or divide a number by 1, you get the same number. So we're going to be writing equivalent or equal fractions. But if we divide it by 1, then we can simplify it. So in this case, you can look at, well, what number can go into 12 that can also go into 24? Well, you could do just 2 and 2, but I see here that 12 also goes into 24. So if I divide the top by 12, and if I divide the bottom by 12, I'm going to get an equivalent fraction that's simplified. So 12 divided by 12 is 1. And then 24 divided by 12 is 2. So 12 over 24 is the same thing as 1/2. Okay, that may have been a little big to start out with, but let's do a smaller one here. 3/9. So what number goes into a 3 that can also go into a 9? Well, 3 goes into 3, and 3 also goes into 9. So we can divide the top by 3 and divide the bottom by 3. And so you do 3 divided by 3, which is 1, and 9 divided by 3, which is 3. And if you draw the box out, you'll see the same thing, that 3/9 is the same thing as 1/3. So if I had 1/3 here, now if I divided the entire thing into 9 pieces, so I'm dividing each one, well, let's use a different color. If I divide each one into 3 pieces, then I have 9 total. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then what I have shaded is 3 of them. So 3/9, which is what we started out with. And if we divide the top and the bottom by 3, we get 1/3, which is equivalent. That's what I'm showing with this picture here. That 3/9 is equivalent to 1/3. Right? Because each one of these is 1/3. Each one of those is 1/3. Okay, 12/4. I'm going to go a little faster now. 12/4 can divide both the top and the bottom by 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. But I'm not done now because I can simplify this. 3 over 1 is the same thing as 3. So 12 over 4 is actually the same thing as 3. And if you want to draw that out, you can. If you have 4, so you have wholes divided up into 4 pieces, and we have 12 of those. 12 of those pieces. That's what the numerator means, the top number. So the denominator tells you how many pieces to divide the whole into. So each one of these big pieces are 1. But you divide them into 4 equal pieces, and then the top tells you how many of those pieces you have. And we have 12 of them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And if you have 12 pieces, and each of those pieces are 1/4 of a whole, then you have 3 total. Because each one is 1, so you have 1 plus 1 plus 1, so you have 3 total. And that's what we showed here. If you divide the top by 4 and the bottom by 4, you get 3 over 1, which then can simplify to 3. Okay? Now, when you have variables, it's the same idea. You can, so this one, it's x times y over y. We can divide the top by a y and the bottom by a y. So xy divided by y, well, the y's cancel out, and you're left with x. And then y divided by y is just 1. And then any number over 1 is itself. So we're left with x. So xy over y is equivalent to x. And then the last one here, we have 3y over 3. And you can divide the top by a 3 and the bottom by a 3, and you're left with y over 1, which is the same thing as y. Okay, I think that should make sense to you.